I left Camp Carpe Diem in Kalispell, Montana for Sand Point, Idaho, my first overnight stop on the way to the Columbia River Gorge. I didn't get to explore the gorge when I was headed north along the Oregon coast in the spring of 2018. I rode around Sandpoint and found Laughing Dog Brewery, where I spent the night in the parking lot. My tires were not balanced properly, so next morning I took advantage of a Les Schwab tire store in Sandpoint to get them balanced and rotated. They did an excellent job, and I have a much better ride now. I left Sandpoint, Idaho for Richland, Washington on the Columbia River, where I stayed 2 nights to explore the area of Richland, Pasco, and Kennewick, known as the Tri-Cities. This is also where the Snake River joins the Columbia River. Leaving Sandpoint, I stumbled on Silverwood Theme Park north of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I continued on through Spokane, Washington, where I spent 5 weeks in 2019. The land turned barren as I traveled west along Sprague Lake. I explored Pasco and Richland until it was time to check in at my stopover for the next 2 days, a Boondocker's Welcome host. The next day I explored the Columbia Park along the Columbia River. Found a lighthouse here in Kennewick on the Columbia River. Next morning it was time to head down the Columbia River towards Hood River and the Dalles, my next stop. So we're driving across the Columbia Plateau. It's just fairly flat, prairie, kind of up high. You can see all the way to the horizon. This is a viewpoint on the Columbia River about 42 miles west of Kennewick. The only problem with going down the north side of the Columbia River is I'm shooting into the sun. So we're getting a lot of haze and a lot of glare out there. I was surprised to find a replica of Stone Henge along the way. This is the backside of Mount Hood compared to the side you see from Hood River. It's clearly a volcano. You can see two solidified magma cores, and there's a channel right over there where all the lava and snow and water and everything goes down.
Yeah, cocktail.
Checking off another box today. This is the trail to Bridalveil Falls in Oregon in the Columbia River Gorge. It's a third of a mile out and a third of a mile back. Should be an easy trail. Not the ideal day, but I finally made it. Checking out the Columbia River Gorge today and hitting some of the waterfalls that I've seen for years. I've got my camera set up and I'm shooting time-lapse on one camera and video on the other camera. It's almost to the full annular eclipse, and it's kind of dim, but it's nowhere close to getting dark like it does with a full eclipse. But hopefully if I play the time-lapse video, you'll be able to see it get a little darker. You'll see a little change of some kind. This is in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which was right in the middle of the annular eclipse path. It was kind of a dud. The automatic exposure on the camera balanced out the brightness. You could see it go from kind of yellowish to bluish at best. The eclipse is pretty much over at this point. It's getting brighter. We had some people come by and give us a pair of glasses to use, so we got to look at it. Well, I didn't quite get up soon enough, didn't quite get dressed soon enough. We had a spectacular sunrise going, and there's still a little bit of color in the sky that you can see around and all. But I'm out here at a cabin in the woods with a friend. Been out here a few days having campfires and having fun. I'm in Rocky Point, Oregon, near Klamath Falls, Oregon, near Lake of the Woods, which is a resort, if you are familiar with that. Let's walk back here and show you the cabin a little bit right here. We had a campfire yesterday, burned up a bunch of stuff. It's a nice little place on the inside with knotty pine, nice wood stove. So it's a good place to just hang out and have fun, relax. So gonna head back into town today. My friend has a house in Klamath Falls as well. That's about 30 miles away. So we're going to go back to her house, and I'm going to pack some things up and head to Bend, Oregon today. That's my plan. It's a beautiful Monday morning. This is Pilot Butte in Bend, Oregon, and we've got like 5, 6, 7 snow-capped peaks around. There's one in the distance over there. I'll have to figure out which one that is. And then one right here. And 4, 5, 6, 7 right here. It's a beautiful area here to take pictures and hang out. And drove up here in my van. So this is a pretty good gig to be able to drive up here on a paved road and have such a view. Beautiful weather today, so that's great. Have a little observation area up here that's just slightly higher. There's the view right there. This is the Tower Theater in downtown Bend. I had to fly back to North Carolina from Eugene, Oregon to close the deal on selling my Class A motorhome and sign the title over to the new owners. Got a nice little waterfall out here to explore today. That's all for this trip.